Hello, my friends. I start with the questions. Will inflation subside? Or will American consumers continue to suffer? My friends, we're going to talk about inflation. And if you are an American consumer, if you pay attention to the prices of everyday items, then you know that inflation is a huge issue. But why is inflation still a problem? Why can't the government tackle this problem? Why are consumers still suffering because of inflation? So we're going to be discussing all that. But first, what exactly is inflation? We hear the word all the time. People say inflation is bad, prices are high. But what exactly is inflation? Inflation is the rate of increase in prices over a given period of time. And inflation is expressed as a percentage. To measure inflation, we need to have a basket of goods and services that consumers buy. And there can be many categories of items in that basket: food and beverage and clothing, housing, transportation, medical care, and much more. The Bureau of Labor Statistics calculates inflation by tracking the price of the basket of goods and services that consumers usually buy. Now, in simple terms, when we talk about inflation, we talk about how much prices increase in the economy. How much prices increase in the economy? That's what we are looking at when we talk about inflation. The prices of all items don't increase at the same rate. So price of coffee may increase 10%, while the price of bread may increase 5%. So individual items may have different rates of price increase. So I saw in the news that inflation continues to be a problem. The people at the Federal Reserve have reportedly expressed concerns that inflation is not coming down. The government has raised interest rates to try to bring down inflation, but it has not worked. And honestly, you don't have to be an economist to tell that inflation is still a problem. I spent a lot of money this week buying not a lot of stuff from the grocery store. So let me repeat that. I spent a lot of money this week buying not a lot of stuff from the grocery store. And that's really the best way to put it. Spending a lot of money, but still not being able to buy a lot of stuff. Because prices have increased. So for the same $100, I am now buying less items than I did 4 years ago. Most people are not economists. Most people are not statisticians. There are people who make a living by studying the economic trends and by proposing solutions for economic issues, and they advise policymakers on what to do to combat inflation. And these are people with fancy degrees from fancy universities and impressive resumes. But all of this, it's not working. Because the American people are suffering and there seems to be no solution in sight. All the economists, all the experts, all the people working in government, what exactly are they doing? Because if you are an American consumer and you go to the grocery store or you go to the gas station to buy gas, you know that prices are still high. So what's the solution? What's going on? And we are approaching election, November 2024, and not just any election. This is not a midterm election. This is the presidential election. And one would think that it would be in the Biden's administration's best interest to combat inflation and to bring stability in the economy if they want to get reelected. If Joe Biden wants to get reelected, he has to combat inflation and bring stability back to the economy. And we know, of course, that the economy is not good. And so what exactly is going on? What is the Biden administration doing? If the economy is good, then the chances of Biden being reelected would increase. But if the economy is bad, then Joe Biden may not get reelected. So what exactly is going on? We're getting close to election, and inflation is still very high. The economy is not improving. Remember Inflation Reduction Act? Remember that bill, Inflation Reduction Act? The Democrats loved the Inflation Reduction Act, but guess what? It did nothing to reduce inflation. And as I've said before on a number of occasions, the Democrats, they come up with fancy names and terms for things that they want to impose on the population. Inflation Reduction Act. It did nothing to reduce inflation. So when I talk about inflation, I want people to think about how much their life has changed since 2021. Since Joe Biden came to office, how much has your life changed? Each dollar that the price of an item goes up by, each dollar has an impact on the population of this country. And when inflation is such severe, like what we're experiencing in America right now, people's financial condition is severely adversely impacted. Reportedly, the cost of living has increased by more than 19.4% since Joe Biden came to office in 2021. So that's close to 20%. So now ask yourself, did your wage or your salary increase by 20% since 2021? If not, then you're probably worse off in this economy. Reportedly, grocery prices have increased by more than 21% since the beginning of 2021. And energy prices are up by more than 38%. And what's most shocking is that people are starting to feel pessimistic. Well, it's probably not very shocking when you look at economic trends, but the reason I say it's shocking is because when people start feeling pessimistic, the overall climate, the economic climate in this country becomes even worse. You know, we expect, and we, the Americans, we're strong people. We expect things to get better. Even when we are facing challenging situations, we always have a positive mindset. We want to address the challenges, and we want to fight all the negative forces, and we have a brighter view of the future. So when people start feeling pessimistic, that's a really bad sign. As soon as people start losing their optimism, that's a really bad sign. And if people start losing hope about a bright future, that hurts us. That hurts the society as a whole. If people start feeling pessimistic, that's when we know that people are losing their strength and their confidence. And reportedly, a Gallup poll revealed that only 38% of voters have confidence in Joe Biden to recommend or to do the right thing for the economy. So people are losing confidence. They are losing confidence in government. They are losing confidence in this administration. They're very unhappy with the current administration, and people feel that the economy is not going to head in the right direction. So let me ask you, what's the remedy? How does this situation get resolved? It's pretty obvious. We need a new administration. We need Donald Trump in office. We need a Republican president. The Democrats and their policies have failed. The Democrats' reckless spending resulted in the crisis that we face today. The economic crisis, the financial problems. It's because of the Democrats. It's because of Joe Biden and his administration. My friends, trust me when I say this. There are people who voted for Biden in 2020 who are likely not going to vote for him in 2024. That's because many liberal voters, the liberal voters who are part of the middle class in this economy, they have also experienced extreme pain and suffering as a result of the Biden administration's policies. And when things start affecting people's wallets, that's when people react. So during the days of Donald Trump, things were good. The economy was doing great. And people appreciated that. Many people appreciated that. And of course, there were those who wanted a Democrat president. But now many of those people realize what a great mistake they made by voting for Joe Biden. All the progress made during the days of Donald Trump are gone. The economy has turned in the wrong direction. We have lost our energy independence. We have lost border security. We have lost our ability to save money for the future because of inflation. Because of inflation, people are having to draw money from their savings. And all of these happened and continue to happen with the Joe Biden administration in charge. So what is the remedy? If you ask me, I'll tell you that the solution is to vote for Donald Trump in November 2024. If you want a strong economy, if you want energy independence, if you want gas prices to be affordable, if you want to combat illegal immigration, if you want to strengthen our relationship with our international allies, if you want peace and prosperity, if you want to combat crime and bring safety back to communities across America, it is time to vote for Donald Trump. November 2024 is coming up, my friends. It's still months away, but time flies very fast. November 2024, it is time to vote for Donald Trump. My friends, going back to the questions I asked at the beginning of this video, will inflation subside? As long as Joe Biden and his administration is in charge, I don't think that inflation will subside. As long as the Biden administration is in charge, I think inflation will continue to be a problem and consumers will continue to suffer. If you want to combat inflation, if we want economic stability, then Donald Trump is the answer. We must vote for Donald J. Trump if we want a strong economy. My friends, thank you for continuing to watch my videos. Please stay connected with me, subscribe to my channel, share with me your thoughts, your opinions, and I'll be back again soon with more news, more updates, and more commentary. Thank you so much.